Hits by the pound.
Yeah, this is how we do it in the Central Colors, man. We got 40 ounces, Old English, rag tops, 6'4" Impalas, and bikini girls, man. This is how we do it on the West Coast. San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles. But don't forget about the Central Cali, man. Please don't forget about the Central Cali. Yeah, get 'em.
It's another sunny day in the state of California. Low rider palm trees and G's that put it on ya. This ain't a negative, we speaking ebonics. Rank talk, candy paint on D's with hydraulics. Baseball hat with the sticker on the brim. Don't let the sun blind your sight, cause things can get grim. But I'm not here to talk about banana clips and guns. We're going back to Cali and we're gonna have some fun. A West Coast domination.
And welcome back to Two Face Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Fred Segura. Now, first, let me start off by saying, please comment, like, and subscribe. It'll help my channel grow a little bit more. I'd really appreciate it. Love and respect to everybody. Second of all, I hope you guys like the little intro I got going on at the beginning of the podcast. I'm just trying something a little different. As I said before, we will transition into video at some point. I can't make any promises as to when. However, let's just jump right back into it. The topic for tonight is a little bit of a mixed bag, if you will, but it all comes back into one thing. But let me start off like this. I still hear a lot of people have the same mentality as, it comes out of LA first. Being that we are in Central California, in Soledad, California, in Monterey County, there's still a lot of people who believe that things come out first in LA. You know what, folks? I hate to break it to you, but due to the power of the internet, it comes out everywhere at the same time. The people believe it comes out in LA first, and this and this and that. I mean, that was back in the day. We are in a whole new time. We're talking movies, music, anything really. It comes out everywhere. Before, as a great film director Quentin Tarantino said, the movies would come from New York. By the time they got to California, they were kind of like scratch and grimy and cut scenes and so on and so forth. As he mentioned when he did the Grindhouse movies, which is where I kind of took the name from. But I'll get into how I went with that name later. But anyhow, back in the day, stuff came out, like, say, New York, LA, and the bigger cities first, and then it kind of gradually, over time, traveled into our area or other areas that are lesser known, for lack of a better word. But now, we are in a whole new ballgame, folks. It's not like it used to be anymore. I mean, I still freak out on people when they say, "Oh, well, it'll probably be here later because it's in LA first. I heard it in LA." It's like, nah, bro, it's everywhere. Even back in the day, even radio stations, before Clear Channel bought all the stations, and and pretty much what you hear in LA, what you hear in New York, what you hear in Atlanta, wherever, you're gonna hear it out here. It's owned by Clear Channel on the radio. If anybody really listens to the radio still, but I'm saying that's what you get. That's what it is now. It's pretty much like Disney. Disney's buying everything, so everything is under Disney. So anyhow, back in the day, the radio stations, every area, every region had a different number one hit. I remember old school stuff coming out like in, say, Fresno, and friends would record stuff like, "Oh, this is a jam." And we'd be like, "What?" And then it'd be like, someone was like, "Really? Okay, that's an old school song." Now they're old school songs. But when we first heard them, they were coming from different radio stations. So there was different stuff playing in different places. Nowadays, it's not like that anymore, folks. It's the same everywhere due to the power of the internet. Now, going into the internet kind of deal, I believe that the internet has dumbed us down. Cell phones have dumbed us down. People no longer pay attention. Attention spans are short. People believe like, oh, well, everything has to be fast and quick. People don't even pay attention when they're crossing the street. I've had it happen, folks. I'm not going to lie. I've had it happen to where I am at a complete dead stop. At least 2 times in my life, I've had somebody bump into my car walking because their face is in the phone. Not paying attention to details of what's going on around you. We don't live in that world anymore where anybody looks around and, enjoys the view of something. Yeah, we see it on social media. People, oh, this is a nice view. You know what? You don't got to take a picture of it, man. Just enjoy it for what it is. Live in that moment. That's just really what it is. I mean, even to where people, for everything, you talk to them and they're and their faces in their phone. You could be having dinner with somebody and their faces in their phone. Drinks with somebody, their faces in their phone. You having a conversation, you tell them something they don't know, and instead of rather listening and trying to learn something, there's doubt. So you know what? Check this out. I'm going to Google it. Like, are you serious? I'm just telling you about this because I'm aware of this, and I'm letting you know that this is what it is. And they'll research it in front of your face. This is how idiotic we are nowadays. Seriously, like, how offensive is that for somebody to say, you know what? Yeah, I believe you, but you know what? Let me double check because I think, whatever the situation is, it's pretty insulting if you really think about it. To the point where it's dumbing us down to. I remember being a kid and I knew all my friends' phone numbers, man. Every single one of them, I knew their phone number. And if you called them and they didn't answer, hey, that was the case. You didn't have to go, searching for them everywhere. We didn't have the cell phones where you call somebody and be like, hey, where are you at? Hey, if you weren't home back in the day, you weren't home. If you weren't sitting in front of your TV watching something that was on at that moment, hey, you missed it. Now it's like, hey, did you see this? No. You know what? I'm going to look for it on YouTube. Check it out. Oh, it's right here. Boom. Easy. The internet has made it so easy for everybody. It's gotten to the point where it's almost an inconvenience. We don't even think for ourselves anymore. We depend on that little handheld device in the palm of our hand to answer our questions. Kids in school no longer have to even read a whole book. Hey, you got to read from chapter 1 to chapter 25 to do this essay. And find the answers in it. So you literally had to read, you tried to speed read and try to, moving your finger around the book back in the day. Now, hey, Google it. Your answer's right there to anything you want to know. Nobody buys encyclopedias no more. Some people say, what the hell is that? I mean, that's being honest about it. Like, it's gotten to that point where this is where we're at. This is where we're at in today's world. And there goes a car right past by. Anyhow, this is where we're at. In reality, I mean, it's it's sad, man. I've seen a lot of people have the attitude of like, even to give that little cocky attitude to be like, well, you know what? When I'm crossing the street, what are they gonna do? Run me over? Yes. I mean, really, in a sense, you don't know that. People get so strung up. What are they gonna do? Run me over? Yeah, they are. They may. You don't know who's at the end of that. Who's behind the wheel at that car that's coming at full speed. That you think he's gonna stop or she's gonna stop. Here's one thing that I instill into my children about it, and I say, listen, when you're crossing the street, please cross it as soon as you can and take your face off the phone. Do not look at the phone. Pay attention to the surrounding. Pay attention to how far the car is or whatnot. Don't run across the street, And it sounds stupid. It sounds cliche. I get it. But pay attention. If you gotta wait for that car to go by, wait for the car to go by. Don't ever underestimate that they have to stop. And let me put it to you like this. Here's the deal. What can happen is, in my opinion, this is just my strictly my opinion about what it can be. I always think of stuff like this, and hey, some people may say, you know what, Fred, you're going way too far with it, bro. You know what? I don't believe in underestimating anybody under any circumstances, especially when they're behind a motor vehicle at any given moment with anybody anywhere. First of all, they might be texting or trying to Google something and not paying attention to the road. And the pedestrian got his or her face in the phone and not paying attention either. It's just an accident waiting to happen. But let's take it a little further. Let's just say that the person behind the wheel is, whether it's male or female, whatever it is, right? Let's just say their spouse is cheating and this person knows about it. This person's going through a divorce. This person's losing their house. They're losing their vehicle. They're losing their job. They just lost a loved one. Whatever the situation is, they're just fed up with life. Almost like the what's that 180s movie? Michael Douglas, Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Where if y'all haven't seen it, take a look at it. Please watch that. If you haven't seen it, you're late to this party, folks. But anyhow, just a person who got fed up with everything, I mean, he just blew up one day and he just had it, and you decide you're going to cross the street because what you going to do? Run me over? And let's just say he does, or she does, whatever the situation is. And then they go around the corner, or they go, whatever blocks down, miles down, whatever, and then they take themselves up. Now what? I instill this in my kids. You might be that last tick on that time bomb. Never, ever assume that they have to stop. Or that they will stop for that they will stop. Because you just never know. And if they're on their phone, please stay off your phones. Anything else can wait. Again, I repeat it. I've had people literally bump into my car and I'm like, you serious? You're serious? And I'm looking at them and they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, you're asleep. You're a walking zombie. What if there's a rattlesnake on the street or anything really, you're gonna walk right up to it, and that's gonna be the end of that. I know I'm going a little too far with it, but let's just, for lack of a better word, Also, too, I think going on with stuff. I mean, I think traffic, for that matter, behind the wheel. Let's just say when you're behind the wheel. As a matter of fact, folks, today I had 4 situations happen. I almost got clipped when a car passed me to get off on an off ramp. Literally, he could not wait behind, or she could not wait. He or she, whatever it was, could not wait behind me. Actually, literally cut me off from the freeway to get off an off ramp. It's like, are you really that stupid? I'm serious. You couldn't wait to just get off on the off ramp. You had to be in front because you had to go extra fast and you had to be speeding to where nobody's behind you, and you got to be in the front the whole way through. Are you kidding me? Passing vehicles. I mean, some people aren't even paying attention. They're too busy on their phone. I was trying to get out of a parking lot today at Walmart in Salinas. And I had to wait because this idiot's on their freaking phone. Parked right there. Just, not even parked, at a stop. Just had to stop. And I'm like, hey, dude, hey, buddy, hey, come on, buddy, can you move? You see me trying to leave. Well, maybe you don't see me because your face is buried into that screen of yours in your phone. And I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I'm going off in anger. No, I just find it so unbelievable that this technology era has really consumed us. It really has taken us in and consumed us to the point that, let me put it to you this way. If you lost your phone, which I've been one to have lost my phone, or it fell in water, or whatever the situation, ain't sticking in the rice or whatever, it doesn't really work. But anyhow, the moment that phone goes out, or whatever may happen to it, guess what? Your whole world just shut down. You can't get on your OnlyFans, your Instagram, your YouTube, or your Facebook, or whatever other thing comes into play. You can't even go watch your porn, or whatever it is that you do. Your world just shut down. You don't even know anybody's phone number because, oh, it's in my contact. That's it, really. We have lost sense of reality. We don't know how to separate real life. We're so used to having it in the palm of our hands to where we can speed up. We want to speed up and get ahead of the next person because they're going too slow. Well, you know what? They're going at the actual speed of life. You have lost reality within technology and how fast things are given to you and answered, to where it's going to take you X amount of minutes to get to a certain place. But you don't see the sense of that anymore because you got to get there faster than anybody else. How bad is that? Seriously. Which leads into advertisements, celebrities, and all this other stuff. People, I remember, and I still sometimes to this day, people hate rappers. Some people hate rap music, rappers, and all this other stuff, right? Oh, my chain, and they make fun of all that stuff, right? Because they showing their chain, and yada, 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 and they'll mock. I've heard people do that. I've had idiots come up to be like, hey, yo, Fred, still rap? Like, dude, shut up, bro, please. You sound like a jackass. And I'm being honest. I'm being blunt. Okay? But nobody realizes that social media, everybody there is a rapper. Because everybody's trying to show off what they have. Everybody's trying to show off how much money they have, how good they're eating, how great life is, etc., etc. You're no different than the rapper you hate. You're no different than any of those that you may hate. It's become that bad to where I go on social media, I talk trash, and I get out because I'm just so sick and tired of it. Seriously. And guys, I don't mean to sound bitter. This is not I don't want this podcast to be about, to feel like I'm bashing everything and I'm just bitter about everything. I'm just seriously looking at it for what it is. And sometimes, maybe sometimes people need to hear that. I step out, I step out and I want to live outside of social media. But I go in there and it's full of nonsense. Oftentimes it's full of nonsense. I go in there and joke around with people, and that's great. I love that. I don't take it serious. It's not reality. Who I may come across as on social media or even in person, people have a certain perspective. That's not who I am. Maybe I was at some point in life, but that's not who I am now. That's the reality of things. We live now in an era where if there's no picture or no video, it didn't happen. And okay, wait for that car to go out. Anyhow, and there's no picture or no video, it didn't happen. Someone's word is no longer of value anymore. Well, hey, I didn't see it. It's not you. Hey, I heard you went here and there. Yeah, I went here and there. I didn't see it on Facebook because I didn't post it. I don't have to post anything that I do. I went out tonight and had a great dinner. I didn't have to post it. I don't have to go and show everybody what I'm doing. I mean, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, look, I'm going to be very front with everybody. I was in the paper not long ago. I didn't think anybody was going to see it. I just kind of I just rolled it, whatever. They want to do a story, I did it, and that's it. But it just took off. I mean, it is what it is. People are on that. That social media, it's everywhere. It's all over the world. It's worldwide. And it's consumed all of us. All of us. You want to see the latest trailer? The latest whatever? You want to know how to fix something? Anything we want is in the internet. I mean, granted, it's the world we live in. It's the new world we live in. Right? I mean, and it's gotten to the point where even marketing has gotten that bad. And again, we go back to the rapper thing. So you bought a pair of shoes that cost X amount of dollars. They might, and I've seen some of them, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. That's the most hideous things I've ever seen in my life. Like, are you serious? You paid that much money for those ugly ass shoes? Seriously. But you know what? It's not about the shoe. You know what it is, folks? It's about the status. Oh, hey, I know how much those shoes are worth. That's what it's about. You want to buy a high-end car. Oh, I want to show a high-end car. Yada, yada, yada. I want to show off that I can afford a high-end car. I won't put it to you like this, guys. I used to work in Salinas, and I had a park at a certain place. And I would go and park in a parking lot. Daily. I saw a Mercedes-Benz parked there for months. with expired tags. And it was just there. Which I got to the point where maybe it was stolen and somebody just left it out here. You know? It wasn't stolen. It had expired tags. They probably couldn't afford the tags. They probably couldn't afford the payments. Now, look, guys, I'm not knocking anybody for owning a high-end car. I get it. But we live in a time now where everybody wants to look a certain amount that, hey, I make this much amount of money. Look at me. And you could be broke within payday just to try to live up to that status. What happened to just living life? I mean, if you go back and you look at 80s movies, like Back to the Future and stuff like that, look how simple people lived. You know why? Because they lived life. And you can say, well, Fred, that was a whole different time. People don't live like that. Things are different. Okay, yeah, I understand that part. But look at the difference in how people lived. It wasn't about, hey, look at me, I'm balling. Hey, look at me, I have this. Or, oh, look, I'm going to do this, but I want to show off to you on social media that I'm doing something. That or look at me, look at what I'm doing. Or look at this, look how I'm living. People didn't worry about that. People just lived life in general. Houses were simple. It wasn't about where you lived, it's how you lived. Meaning, personally. You could live in a one-room shack, like Biggie Smalls had said in the song, which wasn't true, but anyhow. And you could be the happiest person alive. You don't see that no more. Everybody wants to reach a certain status. Your favorite sports team. Oh, I don't go for that. You want to go for the winning team all the time. And when they lose, people become sore losers. Because we don't even know how to take a loss anymore. I've had people want to fight me over some stuff that I've said on social media. Like, are you kidding me, dude? It's gotten that serious? It's a freaking ball game, bro. Chill out. That you and I have nothing to do with other than just being a fan. I own this vehicle I could barely afford, but hey, I look like I'm balling. Or guess what? I'm working day and night like a jackass to make the payments, but hey, I got it. I do not sacrifice my life like that at all whatsoever. Whatsoever. There's a movie, in case you guys haven't seen it. It's called Idiocracy with one of the Wilson brothers. I forget. Terry Crews is in it and stuff. You guys need to see it. It's called Idiocracy. If you watch it now, it's practically a documentary. In a sense, in my opinion. It's caught up with time. That's how bad, that's where we're headed. We're halfway there, folks. We are halfway there. If not more, I dare say. And I'm sorry, guys, I am not angry nor bitter, nothing like that, or I'm trying to, the infamous, you're hating. I'm not hating, bro. I don't even like the word hating. We put a label to that now. Hating. Oh, loyalty. From where? Where do you get loyalty from? Some of you just say because it sounds good. But you can't, let me put it to you like this. You got rappers on an independent level now, in these last 10, 15 years, you got rappers on an independent level that's made no real money and have a fallout over a status or egos. But you want to claim loyalty? You can't even keep a friendship. But you want to claim loyalty? Get out of my face. Get out of my face. I don't want to hear it. Everything has become a status. Anything with a brand name, a logo. Everybody wants to show that first. Like, hey, look at me. I can afford it. And if you can't, hey, by all means, hey, if that's the life you want to live, I mean, that's fine. Me, on the other hand, I mean, I look at me and a lot of other people, I guess. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to get into my account, but I'll put it to you like this. I don't believe in spending something to look a certain way. I could care less. I could care less. And I'm not going to break my back trying to look more than what I am and not be able to afford anything. Or not being able to really afford it. Breaking my back to be able to keep up with it. I said one time on Facebook, I don't keep up with the Joneses because the last time I looked, the Joneses lost their house. That's where we're at. That's where we're at, in my opinion. That's where we're at. We have lost complete touch with reality. And I'm sorry, folks, if I'm coming off the wrong way to where I sound, angry and stuff. I'm not angry. It's not, hey, it is what it is. If that's what rocks your boat. But I do think it looks pretty stupid. And I hate to be as blunt as I am, but I do think it looks pretty dumb. Everything now, everything is a status. It's the more expensive it is, the more you gotta have it to show off. If I call somebody on the phone, you don't even know what kind of phone it is. It doesn't matter. I've heard people say, oh, I called them on my iPhone. Oh, thank you for letting me know what you have. I passed by in my Honda. Okay. It's like, oh, well, yeah, well, I called him in my Samsung 3000. Does it really matter what you called him in? You can't just be like, hey, I called him up. Or, you know what, I passed by the house. Or I passed by that spot. We gotta name stuff. Because we have to show that we have this stuff. We are living social media in real life. And don't even realize that we have not been able to, we're not realizing we can't separate either one. Everything's money, money, money. I gotta have this, I gotta have that, I gotta look like this, even if you're breaking your freaking back doing it. Why don't you take a pause for a second and live life? Because it goes by pretty fast. Unfortunately, I've lost quite a few friends already this year. Some within the last few weeks. And I stop and think about that sometimes. I'm not going to get into the spiritual thing about it, folks. And or anything like that, but rest in peace to them people. You know what I mean? I'm not going to mention them because it's not, I don't want any problems with anybody of me mentioning anything, but rest in peace to those people. And you know what? Those friends, I mean, unfortunately I couldn't make the services and stuff, but I look at what life is. And it's not brand name stuff. It's not about this and this and that. Just enjoy life. Period. Point blank. The power of the internet has taken over. We need to pay more attention to what's going on around us. Don't be that last tick on that bomb. You don't got to be the first one in traffic or speeding because nobody's moving fast enough. Regain your loss of reality. And don't buy anything for status. Buy it because you truly, truly like it. And maybe, hey, you know what? You build up so much for it and you could afford it. Hey, go for it by all means. But at the end of the day, it's nobody else's issue but your own. Because you're the one that's got to deal with the payments. You're the one that's got to deal with whatever the situation is. I heard Chris Rock, and I'm paraphrasing, I heard Chris Rock one time say, oh, Jay-Z owns a Bentley. Well, you know what? I'm $150,000 richer than him. That's to me, that was funny. That was, wow. He's right. And Chris Rock was driving, I think, an Altima or something, and he wasn't caring. I don't know if really that was his car or whatever, but it showed a real guy. You know, Redman the rapper that was on Cribs years ago, when he had his little broken down condo or little apartment or whatever, that was really his. He wasn't trying to front. It later came on that that they were telling him he should have rented a house, a mansion and everything to look all fake, and he said no, he couldn't do that. He wanted to be real about it. You know, maybe he has it now. I don't know. You know, but it's not about what you have or what, you know what I mean? Live your life with your family. You know what I mean? Just live life, man. Money is not everything. It doesn't solve anything sometimes. Yeah, it's, of course, you know, I mean, come on. We all like to spend on stuff. We all like to buy things. We all like to, you know, not have our things turned off at home. Of course not. You know. But at the same time, everything in moderation. And everything affordable. That you can afford. Without having to be working day and night because you need to keep up to a certain status that you can't even afford. It looks good, but you're working day and night for it. You know. So with that being said, guys, I hate to say it, but this is a little bit of a darker, more kind of like whatever your opinion may be about it, but hey, I gotta be honest. I gotta be perfectly honest. And I don't hate it. I don't hate it when somebody, you know, does all this stuff. Whatever. Hey, if that's you, bro. That's you. It's all good. Me, I don't really care. I don't really care to show off and to do all this other stuff. If it does, trust me, a lot of stuff that I post on social media, it's been, you know, either weeks or whatever the situation is. Or I feel like I gotta go in there and talk trash and just, you know, kind of mock something or whatever. It's not real to me. I appreciate sometimes keeping in touch with friends who are maybe in poor health or having a situation. Hey, that's their outlet. More respect to them, you know. If you could afford the high-end car, hey, more respect to you. If you feel that you need to live life like that because you need to keep with the Joneses, more respect to you. you know. And I'm nobody to be telling you what to do. I mean, I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just giving my opinion of how I feel about things. Like, it's kind of, everything is a contest. Everything's a brand name. Everything's, it's just, it's just, I feel we're skipping a huge part. Where's your quality time with family? Where's that quality time with family? I mean, simple, priceless memories of a lifetime. Well, let's not forget that, because eventually we'll realize it when it's too late. I tell my family the same thing sometimes. They're too busy doing stuff. Hey, I'm sitting right here. Not that I want the attention, but because I've gone through that too as well. I had that attitude at one point. Like, oh, well, they're going to be right there. Guess what? When death comes around, they have no time limit. It's not, oh, wait, pause, or, hey, wait, I'm not done. I really want to talk to you about, well, guess what? You had all this time, but you didn't do it. Guess what? You're going. Doctor comes out of the room, says, well, yeah, there's not much we can do no more. And they're unconscious. They're going to go. It becomes a reality. I've gone through it 3 times in my life. Not to give you guys a sad story and bring a cloud into the room. I've gone through it 3 times. Doctor comes out and said, hey, there's not much we can do no more. You got to, basically, hey, if this is what you believe in, pray hard, man. And leave it in God's hands. And wish for a miracle. That's a reality, folks. Life is too short. Enjoy life itself without putting no labels on anything but life itself. With that, folks, this is Fred Segura at Two Face Entertainment Podcast. Signing out.